Welcome back to Italian F4. We have reached the final round of the season, and after one incredible campaign, it all comes to an end right here, right now. Hello everyone and welcome for one final round in 2025. Well, it is great to have your company wherever you might be watching from in the world. We are getting all set and ready for this race to get underway. It is the first of 5 races that will be coming your way this weekend as well, because we of course had a postponed race due to a huge crash at the start of our Imola race. That was race number 2 of the weekend a few weeks ago now. We of course had to cancel that race from that weekend. We postponed it up until here, and we end up with 5 races, one of course being due to the group format. So there's a lot to talk you through, and I'm excited to say that up here in the commentary box. My name is Emi, so I'm excited to be talking you through all of the action this weekend. Wes will be joining us for 3 of the 5 races. He won't be with us right now for this one or race number 4. But expect him to join us later on for race 2, 3, and to end the season in race number 5 of the weekend. We haven't crowned a champion, so that's exactly our goal coming into today. We would love for it to go to tomorrow, but Kei Nakamura-Berta's eyes will be set on clinching it by the end of the day's action. It is possible for him to clinch it, I believe, in race 2. We will do all of the mats. Wes has been assigned the role of our mats man, and I'm sure he will be on the task for us with that. In terms of this weekend, we hold a Misano race once again this season. We, of course, started a season at the circuit, so it is actually quite fitting that we also get to end it around this venue as well. Misano, which has hosted 10 rounds in Italian F4, and it's been on the calendar since 2015. Weldon is next to Salim Hanna, Prema front row. Then it's Van Amersfoort's Maximilian Popov. He's next to Lucas Samalista. They share row 2 on the grid. They are 3rd and P4. Our champion to be, Kei Nakamura-Berta, starting in P5. Alexander Bondarev starting in P6 on a Prema 3rd row. Then it is Kirill Kutskov next to Reno Frankot. He's been impressing us ever since he's come over to this scene. David Cosma Christopher is next to Marcus Saita. They are 9th and 10th on the grid. And then it is Artem Sevayukin next to Dante Vinci. They are 11th and 12th. Alex Powell is in 13th. And then it is Nicolo Macagnani, who is finding himself in 14th position. So excited to see what he'll do. We'll talk more about him in a bit. Then it's Ruta and Vase next up. Matilda Patz is in 17th next to Ludovico Busso. Then it is Emily Cotti next to Theo Schropp. They are 19th and 20th in position as well. 21st sees Oscar Repetto next to Florentin Hattemer, who's in 22nd. Peyton Vescott is next to Guy Albag. They are 23rd and 24th as well. Andre Rodriguez is pumped up ready for this one, as is Antonio Erigo. They are 25th and 26th. Then it is Francesco Pio Coppola, and they find themselves next on the grid to Phil Collins Stranger, and it is Nathaniel Berraby who finds himself last on the grid. We have set off then for the formation lap on what is a sunny and exciting day, I am sure. Here at Misano, it is still very early on. It's 9 AM trackside. Up here in the commentary box, however, much more earlier than that. Remember, our live timings will kick straight into gear once the racing gets underway. So that's what we'll be waiting for at the moment. Once it starts, everything should be up and running. But in terms of the group format, if you weren't with us when we held our season opener or round number 2, which both have this format, we basically have too many drivers on the entry list, and this Misano circuit cannot accommodate all the cars that have entered the event, meaning we have to have this format, a format which basically sees a group battle, and the top 36 drivers will progress into the finale of the weekend, race number 4. Of course, in our head, won't be the finale because we also have a race that will be coming our way later on. There's a lot to explain to you, and we're already at the final corner of the formation lap, so we don't have the most time. But it is Group B and Group C that are out there on the circuit right now. that'll be battling it out. We'll have Group A later on as well. So if you are looking for that, do not worry one bit. They will have their race later on in the weekend. But here we go. These are nervy moments then as everyone finds themselves in position. Sebastian Weldon about to start on pole position. Weldon will be chasing a victory. And if he is able to get the win, it would be his first since Monza in Italian F4. He's taken a victory in E4, but he is still waiting to get the crown in Monza. Remember, Weldon was leading the way in our race 3 that was cancelled at Catalonia. So it will be interesting to see how it is all going to play out. Okay then, green flag at the back. Here come the 5 red lights. Italian F4 is racing for the opening race of 5 this weekend, and Sebastian Weldon has got the getaway that he needs to maintain the lead into turn 1. Luca Samalisto roaring through from 4th on the grid, possibly to 2nd, can't get there. It is going to be Maximilian Popov who will take the place. Terrible start from Salim Hanna, who has lost positions from 2nd on the grid. We had a staller further back as well. We'll make sure to check in with that later on as we send it into the corner. Lockups are aplenty at the moment. A few Prema cars running in deep, running in wide, but it's Weldon with the lead out in front as he makes his way through. Absolutely wild start then to the contest now. Who can try and go on the attack? Who can try and forge some overtakes? Overtaking is tricky around this circuit, so if you can do it on the opening lap, very, very important. Cars absolutely everywhere. So, we have battling further back. I think that's Kirill Kutskov trying to defend. He's trying to defend. Oh, this is going to become messy in a few moments' time. That's the phase that we are definitely getting to. It being messy out there on the circuit. Reno Francot is the PHM car trying to go on the attack. Meanwhile, at the same time, we find ourselves with Kirill Kutskov looking to defend. And coming under massive threat there. Coming under massive threat from some of the other drivers in behind, including Dante Vinci is the car on the attack. 3 Van Amersfoorts making their way through. A driver being mugged in the mid-pack as well. So it is absolutely all action stuff. Off the road goes Alex Powell, meanwhile, in the number 41, as he makes his way through. Cars coming in. A car's coming into the pit lane. Well, who's that then? Who is that? I wonder. Who is coming into the pit lane to change tyres? Side by side we go into the first turn, and that will be the number 13 of David Cosma Christopher as he tries to navigate his way through. This is an aggressive start to Italian F4 as the sun still begins to rise, and they're just about making it work. That is going to be the position maintained. Marcus Sater battling further back. So there's plenty of racing going on at the moment out there on the circuit. But it's Weldon, then Popov, then Samalista, then Key Nakamura Berta, and Salim Hanna dropping from 2nd down to 5th. Talk about a dreadful getaway. That is exactly what I would describe. Getting super close. The number 27 of Alexander Bondarev looking for a move as well. So he's putting the pressure on Dante Vinci as Sebastian Weldon tries to break the toe. That he is dishing out at the moment to Maximilian Popov, who has pedigree around this circuit. I remember some of the TikTok clips I was creating from this weekend a few months ago when we held our season opener. Maximilian Popov was a permanent feature when it came to the podium positions. Around the outside goes Alexander Bondarev to get past Dante Vinci, but he was off the road. So it'll be interesting to see what will be said about that one. We did not see the whole battle, so we can't give you the full picture in terms of how that one could count or may not count. Oh, they're both in deep together, and our Bondarev will have to go super defensive in towards the first corner as Dante Vinci looks to the outside line. Will try to take the widest line possible to try and turn in, to try and go the long way round, and by the time we get down to the next corner, by the time that we make our way down to the Variante del Parco, it is going to be the position gained as Key Nakamura Berta sets the fastest lap of the race, but Vinci now finds himself ahead of Bondarev. This battle going on and on and on in our opening stages of the opening race of the weekend. It is close in the battle for P3. Key Nakamura Berta looking to go on the attack, sailing around the outside, not even a contest. He's made the move. He's taken the position. As into the pit lane comes Artem Sevayukin. Samalisto trying to fight back. A driver with nothing to lose compared to a driver who is just trying to seal things today. And Kei Nakamura Berta is ahead. P3 now, but still looking to defend. Absolutely fantastic racing then at the start of this one. The Snake making their way around this circuit. It's always incredible to see the racing for Italian F4 around the Misano World Circuit. 20 minutes to go, just over that. Remember, we'll have an additional lap as well once we get to that point. It is impossible for any driver to win all races this weekend because there will be one where they have to sit out and watch with the rest of us. That is how the group format works, as Kei Nakamura Berta now has his go of running widest of all out of the final corner. Seems like a bet who can go the widest and keep it on the road and who can keep it together. Luckily in this case for K&B, nothing too bad done there. Weldon now looking to try and pull away. That was wide in the background as well as they were making their way through. But that was a superb overtake from Kei Nakamura Berta, who went on the charge, sent it around the outside. And that is the bravery. That is the bravery that a driver like Kei Nakamura Berta has. He has been absolutely on the attack ever since he has joined us in Italian F4. From the opening race, he had to sit out race 1. So he made his debut in race 2, 3, 4 and won all of the races that he competed in that weekend. He did get to 5 wins in a row with his first 2 wins at Vallelunga as well. Then he had to sit out race 3. And then it was at 11th to end the finale of Vallelunga. So it was actually a bit of a disappointment to end that as well. But he absolutely fought back and he did not let it affect him. The Monza finale of that weekend, race 3. So we had 3 races that weekend. Of course, that was where it got a bit dramatic, where Kei Nakamura Berta and Sebastian Weldon, 2 proper title contenders at the time, got into each other and made contact. That is the type of disappointment that you can see as well in Italian F4 title contenders absolutely going for. I mean, you get that even in Formula 1 at the moment with how dramatic things can be as well. But it is something the drivers will learn. It is hard to be fighting for a championship in the same team. Of course, in feeder series, it is every single driver for themselves anyway. But you do have to be a little bit more careful if you realise and know that the person who you are racing, you'll be sitting alongside for a debrief later on. And it could be quite a long debrief. And I feel like the Prema team probably does have plenty of debriefs due to the amount of Prema drivers we've got. So if 2 of them aren't together on the circuit, there is always going to be some of them together, making our job in the commentary box harder to identify who it precisely is. Kei Nakamura Berta, I mean, it's not been that hard to spot him. We could literally learn that livery straight away from that first race. The number 51 attached with the Prema car, that combination which has led them to so many wins this season, and well, they're going to be going for more because Kei Nakamura Berta, can I just tell you, was 4/10 quicker on the previous lap. So Kei Nakamura Berta is trying to solidify a season with a race where he has had to pass drivers. He got past Salim Hanna at the start. He made a superb move on Samalisto. Now it's Popov. Now it's Weldon. He's already on the podium. But can he go further on the charge to gain 2 more positions? That will now be the aim for KNB in what has been an absolutely extraordinary campaign put together. I'm so looking forward to seeing where his career will go next. Could it be to the Freca level? Does he maybe go for a trip to GB3? Well, the Freck, of course, is what it will be called next year. But will he follow into the footsteps of where so many drivers have gone, including Freddie Slater? Who knows? Could he do a dual campaign like Freddie Slater has done? The British F4 champion Afia McLaughlin, he's decided to go straight over to F3. So if Kei Nakamura Berta believes that a regional level series next year will be a waste of time, who knows? Maybe a trip straight up to the 3rd tier. We'll see what Kei Nakamura Berta decides to do. Of course, he'll be best advised by his team and management on the situation. I am absolutely certain of it. It is 0.7 of a second, by the way. The gap at the moment between Key Nakamura Berta and Maximilian Popov as they duel over what is second position on the road, with Sebastian Weldon controlling things at the moment in time. But this is going to mean so much for Sebastian Weldon if he can get to the checkered flag first by the end of today. 15 minutes and 30 seconds are on the clock to go in this Italian F4 Championship, around a season that has consisted of 7 rounds in total, with of course the season which began here at this circuit. We went over to Vallelunga for round 2. Monza was the host of round 3, and then Mugello, Imola and Barcelona have all consisted of our other races, and it has led us to a road which takes us to a finale of 5 races in total due to the big opening lap incident that we had at Imola. It was great to see everyone able to walk away from that one. Also, I think it is very important to mention that, just in case if there was any doubts, I don't think anyone was expecting anything for it, but in case there was any doubts and any queries about this, the Barcelona race is officially cancelled. So they looked at it, and I mean, we can't make it 6 this weekend, as much as I'd love to have an extra Italian F4 race, a bit more commentary to end the season, but yeah, it would be unreasonable to hold an extra race. So what we'll do is we will wait and see next season for more racing action. But yes, that's officially cancelled. I mean, for an F4 level, you're always going to get some form of cancellations or some form of issues. If they can make up for what's possible, then that's the most important thing. There will be some things that are unfeasible that you won't be able to make up for. But if you try and make up for most things in a season, then I think as a championship, you are doing your best. And most of all, that is the most important thing. Giving these drivers the best opportunity to showcase their talent. And that's exactly what they're doing across this Misano circuit at the moment. Over the line we go. I think we've got some battling further back that is going on in this field. Looking at some lap-by-lap comparison, P1 driver Weldon compared to P3 driver K&B was quicker on our 6th tour of the circuit. Lap 5 and 7 though, advantage us still lied with Weldon. Of course, the one thing you do have to consider in this scenario, in this situation, is that Weldon's got clean air. Key Nakamura Berta might be the fastest out right on the circuit between them all, but has the dirty air coming from the back of the driver of Maximilian Popov. It's been an okay season, I think, for Maximilian Popov. Would have definitely wanted more. 2 second places to kick off Misano. So he's done well, but he won't want to be second again. He'll want to try and take it to the top step. At the moment, he's just trying to defend this second position for all his worth at the moment. A following podium came at Vallelunga for Maximilian Popov. And then at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, was able to bag one in during our second race of the weekend. Those have been the only occasions where he's been able to stand on a Italian F4 podium this season. It means that he finds himself 8th in the points battle. So he finds himself 8th in the championship. And we'll be looking to see whether there's any opportunity to try and increase his position. He's got 89 points to his name. But you have drivers like Zenerishi, Olivieri, as well as up there. So those are drivers that you could possibly see him trying to pass, and a result like this would aid that hope. So he's got every bit of an opportunity for that to happen. We've just got now over 11 minutes and 30 seconds on our clock to go. If you are synced up with us up here in the commentary box, some drivers dropping down. Some drivers dropping down on my timing board, so I wonder what's happened there. We'll try see what has happened, and we'll bring you up to date. But just seen some drivers absolutely drop off our timing board up here in the commentary box at the moment. So maybe a bit of a mistake, maybe a bit of an error, but they're all continuing on. Key Nakamura Berta will, well, hope that he can clear Popov quickly, because Weldon will be a harder target to try and overtake later on. So if you want any chance, you need to give yourself a good amount of time to go on the attack, to try and get to a race winning position. Few lockups coming into play there for Maximilian Popov. We take a look at a replay of what's been going on at the back of the field, as wide out of the final corner. But we were asking who would be the widest. There we go. I think that is going to be the number 22 of Nathan Berraby. So he was a driver who went deepest of all. Lost positions though. Went for an off-roading grass trip, if I can get my words out, and then continued on is the way that he made his way through that. Okay, back to the battle for second place then. This now looks to be where Kei Nakamura is feeling the most confident. It really looks like ever since he's got past Samalisto, ever since he's been in P3, this is the most comfortable that he's been in terms of chasing Maximilian Popov ahead. Now, can he try an attack? Can he try and go for any form of moves? This battle continuing to take place around this circuit at the moment. Can you try force an error? That can also be an important thing. Can you try and push your rival right to the edge? And an open door arrives your way. More lockups coming in. Another lockup coming in to play this time by. Won't be doing the tyres any good, of course. Popov actually having to break the slipstream. He knows he's under threat now. Sebastian Weldon is like, yes, guys, more of this, more of this. Incredible battling for us, and I would love to be on my way to go and take another victory this season. Just thought he was going to go for it there. Just thought he was going to go for it. The final sector, one of actually the overtaking chances here at Misano in the Italian F4 car. You can slip your way by. We had some racing that happened when we came here to start the season, and a lot of important racing as well in the battle for second place and those higher positions, including Maximilian Popov. It can get very close though in that third sector in terms of, did he keep it on the road, does he get a penalty, etc, etc. All of the usual shenanigans that I think we're all used to after all of these Italian F4 rounds. Looking further back, Kirill Kurzkov is holding up a bit of a train. He's ahead of Bondrev, he's ahead of Vinci, he's ahead of Ruta, that is P6789. At the moment, Peyton Vescott, finding herself with a black and white flag at the moment as well, is Peyton Vescott. Just want to see whether we can get a move here from Alexander Bondrev, because it looks like he is very close to the back. Does he shape for it? Bit of a look to try and dart off the ideal racing line. And even when you go for a half-attempted move like that, your aim is always to try and scare your rival just a little bit deep. Just scare them off the road. Big lock up. Move up the inside. And Bondarev barges his way through and takes the position. And now that is going to leave Kirill Kurzkov in a bad position now, because the Van Amersfoorts are also on the charge. Vinci and Ruta are both there on the scene. Vinci trying to capitalise, trying to take advantage of this, has got the inside line, but Kirill Kurzkov won't want to give it up, has no choice. Up to the place will go Vinci, and now one Van Amersfoort blocks, another one attacks, round the outside goes Ruta, forced off the road. That's exactly what we were talking about in terms of racing at that part of the circuit, and it is Kirill Kurzkov who is able to defend from one Van Amersfoort car and finds himself now in 8th. Wild stuff. Basically a move that came up the inside, locked up in dramatic fashion. Locked up in really big dramatic fashion. We make our way back down the straight. Oh, lockups are plenty. Lockups are absolutely everywhere. Really doesn't look like at the moment that Kei Nakamura can try. Oh, here we go. I say that, but he's trying to make a move. Key Nakamura Berta finally forcing a defensive shape, going the long way round, all the way round the outside. He's gone off the road, but he's still got the advantage. It's still side by side between the two of them, and Key Nakamura Berta is squeezing his way past. Maximilian Popov would have been desperate to try and maintain this second position. It looks like car 3 will find himself in P3 unless he can fight back. The VAR car is trying to do exactly that, but Key Nakamura Berta moves his way past and finally gets by, and that has been coming for a while, and now he finds himself in second place in the race. Can he go on attack? Can he go on the charge now and go after Weldon? 3 seconds. Surely he won't catch him from there and then pass as well. That is a huge ask. But it was a move that came around the outside. Superb driving from Key Nakamura Berta. 2 great moves today as they make their way through. Sebastian Weldon sets the fastest lap. He knows that Key Nakamura Berta is coming, so he's got to be on the attack. He's got to be the fastest driver around this circuit. If you have not watched the Italian F4 Championship before, then, well, we award points in exactly the same format as they do in Formula 1. We don't, of course, give a point for the pole or the fastest lap, which is also important. I'd also like to bring your attention to Lucas Amalisto, looking quick at the moment, and looking like someone who may want to take a podium by the end of today. He was 7/10 quicker than Popov that time by. I think some of that can be down to the battling that there was. But whatever it was, Samuel still looks good. He looks quick. Now can he try and use that to make a move around this venue? That will be the aim at the moment, I am sure, in terms of trying to gain a position. You've really got to try and balance things around this venue. It can be very tricky. If you don't get a good opening lap, it can be very tricky to go from that point. So it is so important, so important that you navigate things to perfection in the Italian F4 Championship. The field continues to navigate their way by. Emily Cotti and Peyton Vescott battling over who will be the lead female driver by the end of this season as well. So while we have all of the great battling going on, they are also competing for that. In terms of the women's trophy in previous years, Tina Hausman has won in 2023. Maya Berg won in 2021 and 2022. Hamda Al-Khabaisi, Amna Al-Khabaisi, Fabian Wohlwend, and Julia has also been a winner. Most of those names, of course, you would have seen in F1 Academy. Fabian, of course, racing in the W Series and being a contender there as well. In terms of rookie winners, because it's always interesting to see who comes out on top as a rookie winner. And, well, at the moment, it is going the way of Salim Hanna, who finds themselves on 252 points. But we've had Vips, we've had Leonardo Lorandi, we've had also Patek, we've had Aaron, Mini, Bedrin, Antonelli, of course, Lindblad, Powell, all rookie champions of the past. I remember when we got to the final Italian F4 round last year, I remember putting a tweet about Alex Powell on social media. Such an exciting prospect. I think you'll be a bit disappointed with how this year's gone, because for a driver of his caliber, it would have been so gutting to lose an opportunity to fight for the title very early on, and then not having the pace throughout as well to maintain a proper challenge, to maintain a proper attack. 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock to go, by the way. Time is very quickly running out. Very quickly at the moment running out. in this race, the opening race of 5. So while we may be drawing a close to one of the races, which usually would be the biggest shame in the world, because we either have to wait all the way till the end of the day to go racing again, or we'd have to wait a whole day and do it tomorrow. Do not worry, we've got 2 more races. Remember, we've got 3 in total today. That is what you have across an entire Italian F4 weekend. That is what you do on a normal weekend. And we are out here having so many. So I'm so excited. There's still so much to come. Technically, this is just, well, I mean, you can count one of the races as a Imola recovery race, basically, is what they are calling it, officially. We're on the penultimate tour, by the way, of the race. Excitedly. I am delighted to tell you, we're on the penultimate lap. So this race will be coming to a close, and we're soon about to get a victor coming our way. Luca Samalisto on the attack, driving brilliance behind the wheel. I can just sense that he is desperate now to get onto a podium. The way that he was tackling the opening sector, absolutely extraordinary, with the way he was turning left and right and on the attack and driving brilliantly. As we make our way through, we're about to head on to the final tour of the race in the Italian F4 Championship. 3 positions up has gone Nakamura. Dante Vinci's gained 5. Take a bow as well. Theo Schropp, who's gained 10 positions. He's going to end up finishing in 10th. Huge lock-up from Popov first of all, and then from Luca Samalisto. And does this give the chance? Does this give the chance? We're about to make our way on to the final lap, and we could have a battle for 3rd position as Samalisto darts to try and make a move as well. He won't be able to do it into turn 1, but could it be a finish, a battle all the way to the line? Final lap of the race. We make our way on to now. And this has been absolutely brilliant. This has been absolutely brilliant from the field as they've navigated their way through. But Sebastian Weldon about to get to a win in Italian for F4 for the first time since Monza. It will mean so much to Seb Weldon. Samalisto just doing all he can at the moment. Bit of a lock-up for Key Nakamura Roberta. He can afford that. He can get away with that. All is good when it comes to that. So, we make our way then through towards the end of the lap. But Sebastian Weldon has put together an absolutely phenomenal performance. Started on pole, has dominated the race all the way through today, and Weldon has had wins when it has come to the E4 Championship, but in Italian F4 he has had to wait all the way since the opening race of the Monza weekend, and he was leading our most latest race at Spain, which had to be red flagged and cancelled early due to the rain that came down. So it has been such a long wait in this championship from Sebastian Weldon. At the next opportunity, he finally will get his reward. He comes out of the final corner. Seb Weldon wins the opening race of the weekend at Misano. He takes the flag first ahead of his teammate Key Nakamura Roberta, getting himself a step closer to the championship. Popov in 3rd, and then it is Samalisto in 4th. Rookie winner is P5, and his name is Salim Hanna. What an incredible race, which has been won as we're battling all the way till the end. It has been won by Weldon, but some great racing all the way till the flag. And Key Nakamura Roberta, 2nd place, just looking to try and continue things in terms of this championship battle. Celebrations on the pit wall? Not surprised. There absolutely should be. There absolutely should be after a race, after a contest like that. Absolutely fantastic racing between all of them. They are really put together an incredible evening of racing. There will be celebrations on the pit wall, I'm sure, for Prema. And I'm being told that there's only a single point that is needed. So if Key Nakamura Berta got himself to the win today, could have sealed the deal. Really could have sealed the deal. Only needs a single point. So, a single point is what you'll try grab later on, everybody. And I'm looking forward to see how it is all going to play out. It could end very devastatingly in terms of him actually not being with us for the race where he gets crowned champion. So it could be very dramatic, which I hope that isn't going to be the case, but we always have to put out that possibility. Myself and Rez will preview and discuss that more in detail later on. Sebastian Weldon enters the winner by 3.5 seconds to his teammate Key Nakamura Berta. Maximilian Popov hanged on in third, and then it was Lucas Samalisto who finished in P4. Salim Hanna, and then it was Alexander Bondra. They were 5th and 6th. Dante Vinci 7th. Kukutzkov 8th. And then it was Ruta and Take Bao Teo Schropp up 10 positions from his starting place to finish in P10. Christopher was in 11th. Powell was in 12th. Then it was Busso, Vase, and then Nicolo on debut, Albag, Repetto, Hatame, Pio Capola, and Matilda Pats completes our top 20 order. The championship standings see 307 points to the name of Key Nakamura Berta, and Gabriel Gomez has 216. Sebastian Weldon in third, Salim Hanna in P4, Alex Powell in 5th. A reminder to you that Gabriel Gomez did not, of course, participate in this race due to the way the groups work. So Gomez finds himself in Group A. In terms of other drivers who find themselves in Group A that you haven't seen out in action, a reminder to you, you'll see Gomez, you'll see Shi, you'll see Dupe, Anurag, Olivieri, Savinkov, Kola, Harrison, Kostik, Konsani, Bansal, Al-Salati, Walter, Cortez, and Olkutska. Those are all of the drivers you can expect to see later on as well for both races that will be coming up for Group A, because they've already missed their race this one, so we'll see them in race 2 and race 3 later on to round out the day. As they make their way through. So of course realistically the drivers all compete in 4 races in a weekend, 5 in total for us as viewers to try and enjoy, and all of the championship staff to get another round organised. But yes, the drivers realistically all race in 4 in total. As they make their way through. Okay, well, you can expect to see Gomez in Group A later on. Looking forward to seeing how that race is going to go in the Italian F4 Championship. But Sebastian Weldon will be loving life after that performance, an absolutely deserving performance as well. A reminder to you that Wes will be back up here in the commentary box alongside me for race 2 and 3 later on, and then for race number 4 will be back to myself early morning tomorrow, and then race 5 we both partner up again and conclude a successful Italian F4 season, the first championship that we will conclude. Not the first champion that we'll crown though, that was Alex Ninovic last time out. Let's go down and hear from our race winner.
Just managed the gap at the start and was able to build a decent gap behind, and yeah, can't thank Prema enough for all their support, and let's get it in other races.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to hear from Sebastian Weldon briefly there as he goes back to the celebrations. We'll let him get on with that, and while we do so, we'll take a look at what we've seen across the opening race of 5 this weekend. Weldon got the getaway. Lucas Amalista found himself with a great start. I originally thought he was going to take second place. Had a huge lock-up in there, and that gave the momentum for Popov to roll the car around the outside and take the second position. It's always the question of, can they get through? They did, and we didn't have any safety cars in that race as well. There was some damage, I think, there There was some damage. Reno Franco, I think, was a PHM car. We didn't really reference that at any point, but it looked like he finished very low down. So must have been some damage for him as Bondarev went toe-to-toe and battled with the Van Amersfoort cars. The battle, though, a big battle, would be between Key Nakamura and Luca Samalisto. Not for long, as Key Nakamura made a superb overtake to take the position. Wasn't the only Primo on the attack. Bondarev sent to move up the inside, forcing Kirill Kutzkov off the road. And saying thank you very much was Dante Vinci. There was one Van Amersfoort on the attack. There was another one losing a place as Key Nakamura continued his overtaking round the outside to take second place. By the end of the race, it was Weldon who came home to take the checkered flag and crown himself as the race winner. Onto the podium we go then. It is Key Nakamura in second, Maximilian Popov in third, and Seb Weldon is the race winner. Of course, from the US is Seb Weldon, son of Dan Weldon, of course. The trophy given to Maximilian Popov there. In the background of our shot, KMB getting his one, and the race-winning trophy, the one that you want by the end of a contest, going the way of Sebastian Weldon. Prima adding to their, well, endless collection, I am sure. Time for the national anthem of the USA. So, drivers just getting instructed to pick up their trophies. I can see that we have, I think, the Porsche Carrera Cup Italy that is about to begin. And it's great to see a few of our drivers as well. If you've been following us in the Porsche Super Cup that we covered, it's great to see some of our drivers. We've got Robert E. Hahn in there, I can see, Dirk Schuiten. Yeah, lots of drivers that we get to cover. Not going to name every single one of them, but would be about, I think, definitely most of the grid that we've covered at some point in the Porsche Super Cup. So great to see them. I think they're having their qualifying session. So we'll actually wish them the best of luck for that. And perfect timing. We'll let them get on with that as we will take our exit. We bring a close to Italian F4. My thanks to absolutely everyone trackside who has brought us these pictures as well. Well, we've already started the final round of the season. That's one race done. We've still got 4 to go. We'll see you in a few hours' time for the second race of the weekend. Goodbye.